8 employees in this building that has been here for some time, and they all know each other. He described them as family. In fact, he heard from one of his family members, his son, calling him on the phone just to make sure that he was all right, as anybody would do. The chief, as I mentioned, was literally standing there doing a live interview with us or on our Facebook page when that happened. As of right now, he is literally just driven over there. His car is, in fact, right over here. Still trying to figure out exactly what happened. Any idea what kind of clothes he was wearing?
That's all under investigation.
Okay. Chief Smith there, guys. Sorry, we're having to improvise here for a moment as we talk to the chief, but as you had heard him there, again, it appears we'd been told that the police were searching this area about a mile away from where we were where that initial crash had happened. He said that that officer approached that person, and that was when the shots fired. Sarah, an update to something that we had told you in our previous report. Now, the ramp of I-20 westbound where it merged into I-5920 is now closed because of this overturned 18-wheeler.
That's what it was like out there.
A slow drip of news as this started coming out, Dave. Obviously, we had heard that there was going to be a verdict. We didn't know when it was going to happen, but there was a surreal scene out here, and few in the political world at that time could have believed that Trump would become the president of the United States, but that is what is going to happen after the results of that election. Between the East Coast and the West Coast lies the heartland of America.
There is no better place to celebrate than right here.
Here is Alabama, where President-elect Donald Trump first showed how many people supported a campaign which then was not expected to win.
It reminded me of an Alabama game. I mean, it kept getting, it was like electricity in the air. And when he started talking, I mean, we were up there stomping our feet.
Now, Wayne Gatling says Trump's ability to capture the feelings of Alabamians helped him ultimately capture the White House.
He understands people, I think, and I think somebody got to him, maybe Sessions, I don't know, somebody got to him that, hey, people in the country don't feel the way that people in New York feel or people in Los Angeles feel.
He says only one other person he's voted for captured the feelings of the South, an Arkansas governor named Bill Clinton. Even for this husband and wife,
I think that he's really reaching out to all the people, women, men, African Americans, you know, everybody.
The reasons for supporting Trump may be different.
He's a man's man. He's like a good old boy.
But the road for all of them and the man they support ultimately ended right where it began. Saturday's rally was the last of Trump's thank you tour for 2016. He said it was only fitting that it ended where it began, where they also say they anticipated the largest crowds of this entire tour. And while there was some rain in the area, the crowd, at least to this reporter's eyes, appeared similar to the rally that was held in August of 2015. In Mobile, Stephen Quinn, ABC 3340. Screams.
Where are we?
Calls for help.
Can't breathe.
This is just a glimpse at what a commercial plane crash might look like at Birmingham Shuttlesworth International Airport. And while there's nobody on this stretcher right now, airport officials tell us that they have to practice like they were just in case that day ever comes. Around 50 volunteers were used to replicate the type of injuries first responders might find on a runway.
It is very important in a situation like this, and that's why it's important for us to go ahead and practice.
Paramedics triage patients to make sure care is given to those who need it most. Firefighters and runway crews also are part of the call.
They're very important, especially with the UPS crash, to know when our resources are actually coming on site, what we have to plan for at the beginning of any type of incident like this, and all the different resources coming together.
Planning is perhaps even more important when there are passengers like Joseph Knight. It's something this Marine says he does every time he flies.
I'd say people kind of educating themselves is probably the most important and getting ready for it, because when that moment happens, it's literally, everybody always says they wish they had more time to learn. That's always the big takeaway. While Thursday's drill deals with the worst parts of flying, this father of two says he still is at ease traveling with his family. It seems like airlines this day are getting a lot safer, and it's actually one of the safest ways to travel. In Birmingham, Stephen Quinn, ABC 3340. And while all of the venues are in place for these games, there is still one potential hurdle, and that's how all 4,500 athletes will have a place to stay once the games come to Birmingham. Main concern was a car that actually fell off the overpass, and where we're standing right now, this is right before the Liberty Parkway exit. You can see the officers there on the scene. From where I'm standing here, if you bear with me, you can see down here, this is about where we believe that car actually
fell down to. At this time, we don't have any word yet on injuries. Deadline to keep going is fast approaching. That's why we want to show you real quick exactly how this is going to work if you're trying to file one. You can do it two ways, either in mail or also have it done in person. But either way, you're going to get these. These are the 3 envelopes you're going to get, as well as a ballot. Good evening, I'm Stephen Quinn. Hoover Police now investigating a car fire that badly injured a man. The fire stopped traffic at I-65 and Highway 31. Emergency crews rushed that victim to UAB Hospital. That's where ABC 3340's Andrew Donnelly is right now. Andrew, a big win for Hillary Clinton today in the South Carolina Democratic primary. And while she picked up more delegates there, she also made her pitch in the heart of central Alabama.
News.
ABC News with that special report out of South Carolina. Lauren Walsh was talking about Marco Rubio's appearance here in the state of Alabama. We go to that report now. Welcome back. Here's a reminder, if you're hitting the roads tonight, take it slow and be careful, especially on I-65 in the Fultondale area. State troopers will be doing rolling roadblocks in the northbound lanes there. Out of that, Megan, thank you. Coming up, Alabama and Auburn, they lived up to the hype you'd expect from a rivalry game. Plus, UAB sends its only senior out the right way. How about with a conference championship? Joe has the highlights coming up next in sports.